Let's see what's going on this week. Just heads up, I'm gonna take PTO next week. Planning on doing some work in the mornings, mostly catch up, less of the day-to-day stuff. So I'll be around, but I probably won't be attending regular meetings. So, yeah. MRs for the month, we have 2 merged MRs, mostly because we're doing so much investigative work right now. It's fine. There's a bunch that are written out there, and I haven't figured out the difference between these 2 graphs, something I need to look into. So we either have 2 or 3, depending on what you look at. Let's see, looking at the board, 12.9, I think there's still some work to be done on this one. There's still some open MR work that Andreas is getting through. I know there's a lot of updates on that one, so keep it open for now. I'm not sure, Pat, do you know what the status of the tendency model is?
No, I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Partitioning spike, I'm pretty sure this is done. There's an MR out there. Yeah. Hey, Ben, can you mute? I think, I'm not sure what Andreas is waiting for on this one. There's still some feedback. But it looked good, the research that he gave on this one. So I think this one's probably pretty much done. Let's see. There was still some feedback on this one too. And Pat, do you know anything on this one?
Not anything recent, no.
Okay. That's it for what we have for 12.9. So 12.10, still more research. I don't think we have anything specific planned for next steps for Citus. Although there was an issue in open, set up a cluster.
Yeah, that actually I meant to pull into the current. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's what I started working on Friday. I might need to talk to Andreas because the way the disks are set up on that machine, I'm not sure I'm going to have the space that I need, and I don't have the access to do that. But that was what I had been working on Friday. Yeah.
Okay. And then we have some other future looking issues. So this one was set a while ago. So once we had key set pagination working, we were going to set some limits for offset pagination so that we don't see those exponential performance degradations as you get further along in offset pagination. We'll see if that still makes sense for this milestone. We'll leave it for now. That might be something we can pick up if we have downtime from other work. And then these are all other issues that Andreas had created and added to 12.10's potential work. Is there anything else that you had lined up, Pat?
Yeah, nothing off the top of my head.
Okay. I think the one question I had is what's next for the partitioning implementation? Are we going to try to actually do a partitioning implementation based on the research that Andreas did last milestone or 12.9?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think there was maybe a few outstanding questions on that write-up that he had written about maybe a couple places we wanted to check and make sure that it wouldn't cause like a performance degradation in other instances. But I think, pending that, I think it would be something that we would want to move forward with.
Yeah, and we'll have to time it with the rollout in production, right? So we'll have to keep it local until it's actually out on .com and available, Postgres 11. So, and that's still being targeted for early April. Haven't heard anything that would conflict with that. Sounds like everything is running as scheduled. So, I was gonna get some feedback on this one. So I updated the MR to describe the sharding working group with some of the clarifications that we've talked about in this weekly sync that we have and some of the discussions we've had as a database team. So I called out our development plan. So building sharding on top of partitioning. So first approach is to deliver the MVC implementation, and then that will better inform our sharding approach, which is something we talked about before. Excuse me. Calling out some of the caveats. So there's some discussion in other channels that we're working on data isolation with sharding, and I wanted to call out that we are not exploring data isolation per tenant. And then I know Cockroach has been mentioned, but we're calling it out as not a viable option at this point in time. We're not doing any further investigation into Cockroach. And then called out some of the dependencies. So infrastructure rolling out Postgres 11, deploying an MVC partitioning, but that's dependent on the first step. And then sharding strategy is going to be dependent on MVC. So are there any other high points that I may have missed on this one? Like Pat, you're probably closest to it, to who's on the call here.
Yeah, I mean, I think the sharding strategy does depend somewhat on the partitioning, but I think it could also be, I mean, I think it's also going to be sort of its own thing. It's still sort of up in the air because I don't know that we know enough about the solution that we're picking. Like if we do Citus, I think it would follow pretty in line with what we're doing for partitioning. But if for some reason that doesn't meet the needs that the business is looking for, then I think might be an alternative approach that's not really going to be in line with what we're doing on partitioning.
And that's fine. I mean, this is built off assumptions of today, and if we need to change it tomorrow, we can. So
okay, sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That covered. Milestone board we already covered. Ben, are there any topics you wanted to cover this week?
No.
No good? Okay. I think we have gotten through the agenda topics I wanted to cover. Ben or Pat, anything else you wanted to cover for today?
No, I don't have anything else.
All right. Well, if there's nothing else, I'll let you all have some time back. Thanks, everybody.
Okay.
Yep.
Bye.